And Marshall, you thought Jackie was a project? Clearly, you the one who's getting worked on. If you saw her as a project for you to work on, you failed, baby. You failed. F.
Roxy says we're gonna talk about it. Roxy says we're gonna talk about it.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Roxy Says, and we're gonna talk about it. If you are new here, welcome to my channel. It's nice to have you. And if you're returning, welcome back. We're about to get into Love is Blind, episode 8. First of all, can I just say they need to rename this show Love is Delusional, Love is Stupid, Love is Toxic AF, because that's what the majority of these couples are giving. It's crazy. I think it's safe to say that we will never get a Love is Blind season 1 ever again. We will never get a Lauren and Cameron. It'll never happen. It was a once in a lifetime thing. It was beautiful, but that's it. We're never getting it again, because at this point, these people have to be here just for the camera time. They have to, because are they this dumb? Are they this desperate, or do they just want to be on TV? Because the red flags are glaring. Glaring. I'm like, how are y'all missing these red flags? Marshall, how are you missing? Jackie is a walking red flag. Bliss said yes. Bliss said yes. Bliss, baby. Zach is a red flag. Micah gives red flags. Who else we got? Kwame gives red flags. And also, Chelsea gives red flags too. The only couples who I don't really see red flags for is, like I said before, Tiff and Brett. They are the safest couple. They're cute to me. The feelings seem to be reciprocal, right? It's not one person like fiending for the other, and it's not a lopsided relationship. They both seem to be equally in love, equally invested. We love to see it. Every other couple, gotta go. As we open up episode 8, we see that Bliss says yes to Zach, and she says to him, "Don't F up," and he says,
"I'll try not to."
He might have said it as a joke. He's dead serious. Zach is not like this great guy, this nice guy. He's not that. As I said in my reviews before, he just wants to win something. He wants to go home with something. Maybe he just needs extra camera time on the show. So much so that when Irina didn't work out, he went and found Bliss and said, let me just try to make this work so I can get a couple more episodes in on the show. That's what it's giving. That was his forewarning to Bliss of telling her, like, girl, I'm about to F up your life. I'm about to F up everything. You should have left me where I was when I said no to you. You should have took no as no. You shouldn't have given me a second chance, but you did. Oh, you gave me a second chance. Now I'm really about to show you the real Zach. Next scene, we have Micah and Paul meeting up with Micah's parents. She lets Paul know that she hasn't told her parents yet. She doesn't know how they're going to react. So when they get to the restaurant, Micah tells them about the experience, and she lets them know that she is engaged to Paul. Micah's parents don't look too excited about the situation at all. They're like smiling, like, okay, but they're definitely not happy about it. They do say congrats, you know, they're being polite. I guess they don't want to hurt Micah's feelings. That's their daughter, but they're not thrilled about it at all. And it's funny because in the confessional, Daddy Paul said, for all we know, he could be a serial killer. I immediately saw Paul as a mix of Jeffrey Dahmer and Joe from You. Doesn't he look like if Jeffrey Dahmer and Joe from You had a little baby? That would give you Paul. And I didn't see it until Daddy Paul brought it up. Be careful, Micah. So in the next scene, we see Jackie and Marshall. Marshall is telling us that Jackie told him that he was not man enough for her. Did I miss the clip where did they not show it? And Marshall was just telling us what happened? Like, was it not filmed? Because I rewinded it and I didn't hear when she said it. So I'm assuming that Marshall is just giving us the breakdown of what happened. But baby, Marshall, I don't know how many times and ways Jackie needs to tell you that you're not her type. And yes, you can always fall in love with someone who is not your type, but clearly that's not happening here. Clearly you are not the person that Jackie wants to be with at this point in her life. And that is okay. You don't need to force it. You don't need to make her fall in love with you. You don't need to change her mind. A lot of times people will tell us what they want, who they want. And we're like,
that's not me, but I'm going to change your mind.
No. You deserve to be with someone who wants to be with you 100%. You deserve to be with someone who's attracted to you, who loves you, who's not trying to make you into something you're not. And Jackie is telling Marshall that you're not the type of guy that I'm attracted to. She didn't come out and say it, right? But when they had the meetup and all of the couples got to meet each other, when they saw each other for the first time, and when she saw Brett, she's like, oh, he looks good. Brett is the complete opposite to Marshall, right? If you are with someone and you go through their Instagram likes and they're liking pictures of people who look nothing like you, red flag, baby. They're attracted to someone who looks nothing like you. And you know you got those people that don't got no type.
I don't got no type.
But we later see that they're not even having sex. Marshall, baby, just let it go. And Jackie, why are you dragging this man along when you know that you don't really want to be with him? Why are you doing that? Instead of just being upfront with Marshall and letting him know that you don't want to be with him, you don't see a future in this relationship, she won't do that. She's just stringing Marshall along, being hot and cold with him, crying, then hugging him, then saying sorry, then saying you're not a man. Girl, just pull the plug. Just tear the Band-Aid off. It's painful to watch. So Jackie tells Marshall that he's not aggressive enough. She needs him to be more aggressive. But Marshall says that's just not him. We can all see that that's not him, and that is okay. Everyone is different. But if that's what Jackie wants, and that's not what Marshall is, Marshall needs to be man enough to realize, hey, I'm not the guy for this woman. And Jackie needs to be woman enough to say, hey, this is not the guy for me. They're both dragging this relationship on, and it's so ridiculous. And honestly, the way that Marshall is responding to Jackie's treatment of him makes him even more unattractive to her. She knows that she's being horrible to him. She knows that she's being mean to him. She knows that she's being dismissive when all he's trying to do is show her care. And because she knows this and she sees that he's still killing her with kindness, killing her with love, it's irritating her even more. I honestly think that she's being unkind to him to get a rise out of him. It's toxic as hell, but I think that's why she's doing it. And all he's doing is killing her with kindness. All he's doing is being nice, being caring, being there for her, being supportive, listening to her. She doesn't want that. She don't want that. She don't want that at all. She's not ready for a relationship, and he needs to build his self-esteem because there is no reason why he should allow this woman to treat him like this, and he should just stay and follow after her like a little puppy dog. And I like Marshall because he seems like a nice guy, but this is ridiculous. Marshall needs some self-esteem, and I don't even know what the hell Jackie needs, but she needs to go home. She just needs to go home and take a nap. Marshall tells Jackie that he saw her as a project. People, listen to my voice loud and clear. Loud and clear. Stop dealing with people because of their potential. Yes, it's nice to believe in people. It's nice to motivate people and inspire people. But if someone is showing you over and over and over, no, this is who I am. This is who I am. I'm an a-hole. I'm a bitch. This is who I am. Believe them, right? If someone is showing you I'm a manipulator, I'm not a nice person, I don't know how to control my emotions, I'm gonna lash out and be mean to you and call you names because I don't know how to communicate, believe them. Believe them. Don't accept that type of behavior and just think, I'm gonna change them. That's not the real them. I'm gonna bring the real them out. All they need is love. All they need is love. And then they'll turn into this completely different person. No. No projects. Don't do any projects. And Marshall, you thought Jackie was a project? You saw Jackie as a project? Clearly, you the one who's getting worked on. If you saw her as a project for you to work on, you failed, baby. You failed. F. This show is all fun and for entertainment, right? But if there's anything that you could learn from this show, do not fall in love with people for their potential. Don't fall in love with the person you think they'll become because they're with you. Believe them for who they are right now, today. Okay? Okay. And in this scene, they argue about it, and then Jackie walks over to him and cries and apologizes. But we know after those tears dry up, they're still the same people. He's still the non-aggressive person, and she's still the person who needs an aggressive man. So once the tears dry, y'all still gonna look at each other. Y'all still the same people. And we see at the end of the episode, they look like they're about to break up. And I'm like, good, y'all are moving in the right direction. Away from each other. So it's 11 days until the wedding. We get a scene with Zach and Bliss where he's letting us know he has a lot going on right now. He's moving in with Bliss. He just started a new law firm and they're getting married in 11 days. Since they didn't go to Mexico because he chose Irina, now they have less time to get to know each other, right? Because the wedding is closer and they didn't get that time in Mexico together. Bliss starts to express her concern about being Zach's second choice. It's a valid concern, right? They had such a strong connection in the pods, as they both say. She warned Zach about Irina, and he still chose Irina. So she's genuinely worried about being his second choice. Zach tells her it's clear that she wasn't his second choice. Wait, are we watching the same show? Zach, she was your second choice. You picked Irina first. Right? Zach almost looks offended. He looks offended that Bliss is even bringing this up. So they start to have this back and forth about it. And Zach is telling her, well, clearly and obviously and clearly you weren't my second choice. And she's like, well, clearly you were about to marry a whole different woman like a couple weeks ago. Clearly. And then when he starts trying to plead his case, he's like, well, I really loved you in the pods. We had such a strong connection. And she's like, why did you say loved? Like past tense. And he's like, well, obviously. Every time he says clearly and obviously, I get so irritated. He's trying to change reality by telling her that she's not his second choice. Bro, we wouldn't be sitting here if Irina wasn't a psycho, right? If you and Irina worked out, you and Bliss wouldn't even be sitting on this couch having this conversation. So why are you trying to minimize her feelings? Why are you trying to rewrite history? Do you see what I said in my last video, that Bliss forgave him too quickly? Too easily? She shouldn't even be with him. But from what we saw, he got back in there so easily. And now he's trying to minimize her feelings. Bliss, girl, you shouldn't. Girl, don't do it, Bliss. Don't. This is a stage where he should still be kissing your butt. This is a stage where he should still be trying to make it up to you, still be apologetic. It's a stage where he should be handling her feelings and her concerns with extra care, right? Because he knows that she's going to have a bit of insecurity about being his second pick. But instead of doing that, he's invalidating her feelings and telling her that she wasn't his second pick. Then what was she? Red flag, Bliss. Do you want to be in a relationship where you express your concerns and the person is making you think that you're crazy? He's literally gaslighting her. Oh my gosh. Bliss, don't do this. Run for the hills, Bliss. Run. Now we have Kwame and Chelsea. I told y'all in my last review, Kwame is not ready for this. And all he does in every episode is continue to show us that he's not. So they're giving Chelsea's pup a bath. And after that, Chelsea brings up the topic of kids. So she asks Kwame, how does 2 or 3 years sound? Is that a good timeline for us to have kids? And Kwame's like, oh, I kind of wanted to enjoy the marriage first, which is understandable, right? A lot of couples want time without children so that they can enjoy each other, travel, do things with just them, grow in their relationship before they add kids into the picture. Totally understandable. But why does it seem like this is the first time they've ever had this conversation? I don't know if it's production or editing. This looks like it's the first time that they've ever had this conversation. Like Kwame's never even heard Chelsea say the word kids. What the hell were y'all talking about in the pods? What the hell were y'all talking about in Mexico? Were you just asking each other your favorite color? Favorite Kama Sutra positions? What were y'all talking about? Because clearly it wasn't this. Clearly it wasn't children. Clearly it wasn't moving. What were y'all talking about in these pods? They're on completely different pages. Chelsea's like,
we can take the kids on vacation. A lot of people go on vacation with their kids.
Kwame don't want to travel with no damn kids, Chelsea. And if I could see that through the TV and you can't see that and he's right in your face, Houston, we got a problem. Chelsea, baby, open the eyes. Open your eyes. Wake up. Come on, baby. Chelsea, get up, baby. The red flags are there. The fact that Kwame might not want kids right now, that's not necessarily a red flag. There's a lot of people who don't want to have kids or don't want to have kids right now, right? That's fine. But if that's what you want, Chelsea, if your timeline is 2 to 3 years, 3 to 4 years, and for him it's giving no, he's not the man for you. You can't change that. This is another person who thinks that they're going to change someone's mind. It's not giving. We can see that that's not what Kwame really wants right now. So what are you going to do? Stay with him and try to convince him that he should want kids right now? And then when 3 years pass and he still says, yeah, I still don't want any kids, then what? He's telling you something, listen to him and make your decision from that. It's not going to work out. And that's just one of the problems that y'all have. That's just one, right? But like I said in my last video, Chelsea is going to ignore every effing red flag because she just wants to be in a relationship. She's tired of being lonely. She just wants a man. She don't care if she wants kids and he don't want kids. She don't care if he wants to live in Portland, Oregon and she wants to live in Seattle. She don't care if she really wants to be with him and he really wants to be with another woman. Clearly, Chelsea don't care about nothing. Just marry me. And we hate that for her. We hate that for our good sis Chelsea, baby. These couples are stressing me out. Can you tell? Oh, shit. And their conversation is so passive aggressive. Like, well, that's what marriage is. And he's like, yeah, what? Super passive aggressive. You can tell they're both thinking things that they don't want to say. So where do we go from here? It's giving break up. This scene is weird as hell. So Micah and Paul go to a party for Micah's friend's birthday. Her name is Shelby. And the conversation is going fine. Like, Paul is giving good answers. And the girls start getting on Paul about the way that he speaks. And Paul's a good sport about it. He's like, okay, like, y'all about to roast me. Like, okay, he's a really good sport about it. And then Shelby takes the conversation left. And she's like, yeah, well, don't talk to me like that or I'll get really upset. Like, I'll make a bitchy comment sooner or later. And Micah's like, yeah, she gets upset really easily. And Paul is like, okay, like, I don't really care. Like, what? And Micah's like,
well, you should care how she feels. That's my friend, Paul.
And Paul's like, I care about you. I don't care about, like, little dumb comments that your friend makes. And she's like,
well, yeah, but you should still care how she feels.
What are we even talking about? What? Paul, run. You see who this girl's friends are? You didn't see her in the pods when she was a mean girl with Irina, right? You didn't get the pleasure of seeing that. But now you're seeing who her friends are? Red flag. Her friend just told you she's going to be a bitch for no reason. For no reason at all. Unwarranted. He did nothing wrong. He said nothing wrong. And she's like,
yeah, I'm about to be a bitch.
What? And that's her best friend. And she's also defending her friend. If my homegirl said that, I would be like, girl, are you okay tonight? What's going on, sis? Like, I would be confused as hell. Shelby is catty and mean, and that is exactly how Micah is. She's just toned down a little bit because she's on a TV show, right? So if she's on a TV show, she knows she's being recorded. She knows her conversations are being recorded. And she was still mean and catty on camera. Imagine how she is in her everyday life, Paul. You better run. Shelby is a reflection of the type of woman that you're about to marry. Do you really want to do that, Paul? Paul excuses himself and goes to the restroom. And Shelby starts crying to Micah and saying,
yeah, I'm not feeling it. I don't like him. I'm not feeling it. This isn't the way that you should be getting married. And I don't like...
Girl, you don't like Paul because he wasn't kissing your ass. You don't like Paul because you wanted to be mean for no reason and he didn't kiss your ass. That's what you're upset about. Shelby's weird as hell, and I can totally see why her and Micah are best friends. So it's 10 days until the wedding, and all of the couples are meeting up for Chelsea's birthday. So we got couples, and we have some other people from the pods who didn't get paired up. Josh arrives. We didn't see much of Josh in the pods, and I'm happy we didn't, because what is his deal? Like, loud, obnoxious, just wanting to be seen, wanting to be the center of attention, annoying as hell. And you can tell by the way the other guys speak about Josh that they don't really like him. And I can definitely see why. Zach and Bliss come in and everyone is like, ah! Everyone is shocked because obviously when they last saw Zach, he was with Irina. Everyone's excited and happy for them. And I'm just like, no. Marshall arrives alone and everyone is whispering to each other because they don't see Jackie. So they're like, ooh, he's alone. He's here alone. Yeah. Yeah, he's alone. He's by himself. He's alone. So Marshall lets them know that him and Jackie had a falling out. Yeah, and y'all gonna keep falling out because y'all not supposed to be together. As everyone's talking, you hear Josh in the background again, loud as hell. If you don't sit your ass down, get a little drink, sit down and shut up. There's no reason for us to be hearing you above everyone else's conversation. Why are we hearing Josh in the background? Sit your ass down and shut up. We see Kwame talking to Tiffany about his current relationship. This part is really important. And he tells Tiffany, and he's mentioned it before in other confessionals, that he feels like he's compromising a lot, right? He tells Tiffany the same thing. I feel like in this relationship, I'm compromising. Let me tell you something. Everything in this relationship will feel like a compromise to Kwame. Everything. Do you know why? Because Chelsea is not the woman he wants to be with. Chelsea is the compromise. In Kwame's eyes, Micah is the girl he wants. Chelsea is the compromise. And because Chelsea is the compromise, every single thing that she asks him to do from here on out, he's going to see it as a compromise. He's going to see it as a nuisance. He's going to see it as a chore because he doesn't want to be with this woman. This woman is not his first choice. He wants to be with Micah. If he was in love with Chelsea, he wouldn't hesitate to move. Maybe he still wouldn't want to have kids at this time, but he would want to live with her, right? I bet if it was Micah, if he was with Micah, he will move in a heartbeat. He wouldn't be talking about his little jogging path and his soccer buddies. He will move because that's who he wants to be with. Things will come easier for him. Things that Micah would ask him to do would be easier for him because that's who he really wants to be with. And as long as he's with Chelsea, everything that she asks him to do is going to seem like a chore. And that's a horrible way for them to start this relationship. So Marshall has a conversation with Brett and he's telling him about the falling out that he had with Jackie. Jackie told Marshall that she wants him to be more aggressive. Marshall tells Brett that Jackie said that she wants him to slap her around a bit in the bedroom. Now listen, I don't kink shame, okay? Whatever you into, if that's what you into, that's what you into, period. However, we can all look at Marshall and tell he ain't slapping anyone around anywhere. In a bedroom, on the street, anywhere, okay? So, Jackie, if that's what you want, you're not going to get that from Marshall. He'll probably slap you and start crying after. Like, that's not what you want, Jackie. And Marshall, you know that's not you. If Marshall and Jackie get together and get married, when Marshall goes to work, if Jackie's home, the FedEx guy is going to be dropping off more than packages. Okay? Okay. Remember the old Jackie that Jackie kept talking about? The old Jackie is coming out. We're getting glimpses of the old Jackie. I already know what the old Jackie's about. But she's giving Marshall little glimpses. And he hasn't caught on yet. But we gonna see. Marshall also lets Brett know that Jackie's never told him that she loves him. She's never told him that she loves him. She's just like, yeah, I rock with you tough or I care for you, but never said I love you. And y'all are supposed to get married in less than 2 weeks. Marshall says, I am walking away from this with a marriage. So that tells me he just wants to be married. A marriage. It could be good. It could be bad. It doesn't matter what it's giving in this moment. Where's the paper? Where's the rings? Where's the paper? Let's just make this happen. And if that's all he wants, then it's understandable why he's ignoring red flags. It's understandable why he's allowing Jackie to treat him like this and he's still in the relationship. He just wants to make it to the finish line. Are any of these relationships real? I can't wait to see who says yes and who says no. I can't wait to see who's still together, because none of these couples other than Brett and Tiff should even touch the altar. They shouldn't even make it to the altar. They shouldn't even try on dresses and tuxedos. Only Brett and Tiff. So Jackie comes in and she says hi to Marshall and she hugs him and they kiss or whatever, little peck. And immediately Marshall is like, here, put on my coat, put on my coat. And she's like, oh, you're annoying me. Oh my God. She's only been there for 3 minutes and she's already annoyed by Marshall. Those two, I'm so sick of them. I'm so sick of those two. Just break up, please, for us. So, because we know he can't stay away. Even though Chelsea's had conversations with him about it, he just can't stay away. In this scene, Kwame is speaking with Micah. And in the whole conversation, all he's doing is fishing. Fishing for a little opening. For a little opening where he can cast doubt in her relationship with Paul to see if he still has an in with her. He asks her if she feels that she made the right choice with Paul. We know he's only asking her that question because he feels that he made the wrong choice with Chelsea and because he wants to be with Micah. So he's just fishing and fishing and fishing. Kwame is such a snake, I cannot stand him. Micah even picks up on it and she's like, why would you ask me this question? Like, do you feel like you made the right choice? And he's like, Chelsea, I hate this for you. I hate this for you. He's so embarrassing. He already embarrassed her at the pool when he had the same conversation with Micah, and he's doing it again. Chelsea, where are you? Do you see this conversation happening? And Paul, where are you? Because whenever Micah's having these conversations with Kwame, Paul is nowhere to be found. He wasn't at the pool, and he's not here. Is he hiding so that he doesn't have to confront anyone? Like, is that what happens? Micah admits that she's unsure but hopeful. She peeps Kwame, she peeps what he's trying to do, but she's not like Kwame's doing. So Amber comes in. Like I said in my previous reviews, she was one of my favorite girls from the beginning of the show, and this is the first time that Paul is seeing her. We remember that Paul dumped Amber to be with Micah. When Paul sees Amber for the first time, he's like, she's a beautiful girl. We did have a strong connection, but I'm with Micah now, and I'm not risking that for anything. Take notes, Kwame. That's how it's done. That's how you're supposed to move when you're in a relationship. Not be in another woman's face for 20, 30 minutes every time you see her. Josh goes up to Marshall and says a whole bunch of nothing. He's like, yeah, you know, we cool, bro. But you know, he calls himself Mr. Steal Your Girl. Just corny as hell. Like, Josh, go home. He's like an annoying neighbor. Like, why are you on my doorstep? Like, go home. Like, why are you here? Then he slithers his way over to Jackie and he tries to have a conversation with her and he tells her, I was in love with you in the pods and we had such a strong connection. And she's like, yeah, you didn't tell me any of this in the pods. You never told me you loved me when we were in the pods. And he takes a dig at Marshall and he's like, yeah, I see you over there now with NBA Cryboy. And Jackie laughs. Someone is making a mean or nasty comment about your fiance and you laugh? Even if y'all are beefing at the moment, you know that Marshall is a good guy. You know that he's a nice person. So if someone is making fun of him, why would you laugh at that? Why would you encourage that? That did it for me. I'm so over Jackie. While Jackie and Josh are talking, we get a glimpse of Zach and Bliss over there. And Zach is like, I don't like that. Like, I don't like that they're talking. I don't like that. Zach, mind your business, okay? Because your shit is a mess too. You're a hot ass mess. So worry about you. Don't worry about anybody else. Worry about you. Josh just sounds like a drunken, stupid mess, and I want him off my screen. This episode irritated me. Everyone's ignoring red flags. Marshall is allowing Jackie to treat him like trash. Jackie won't just be 100 with Marshall and break this thing off. Zach is minimizing Bliss's concerns. Kwame is being a sneaky little snake as usual. Chelsea is living in a la-la land of oblivion and desperation. Like, with all of that said, Love is Blind is still entertaining AF. I hope you guys enjoyed my review and my recap. If this video made you laugh, think, chuckle, anything, please leave me a like. and hit subscribe because I would definitely love to see you in the next review. Tell me your thoughts below. Tell me if you agree, disagree with my opinion. Tell me your thoughts about this episode and we'll chat more in the comments. See you later. Bye.
Roxy says we're gonna talk about it. Roxy says we're gonna talk about it.